Andy Amash, the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Jackie, Asia, first finals win in Las Vegas since last time it was in the bubble. Just what was the atmosphere around the game, and how does it feel to have that under your belt?
It was a game we needed. It was a game we needed, not just necessarily because it was like, oh, it's our first win, but it was because this is something that's huge for us. These are statement games in a way. And when you're playing a good team like Con, you got to really lock in at all costs. So it was good to have a game underneath our belt. The crowd was great. And now we got to get ready for game 2.
Next question, fourth row to your right.
Asia in the back. For the most part, Chelsea Nicole Gray is known as the point.
Nichelle.
Chelsea Nichelle Gray is known as your point guard. But tonight, she really came through on the defense, taking that charge specifically. How important is she on your defense, and especially against this type of a team?
She's huge. She's huge for us. On both ends of the basketball, Chelsea is locked in and ready to go. And when you have your point guard that locked in, you have no choice but to do the same and just follow behind her. Everything that she does, I'm like, I'm going to bet on you. I'm doubling down no matter what because I trust her instinct. I trust the way she sees the game. And I know that last shot, she's not probably going to sleep tonight, but she needs to get her rest. And I'm going to be the first one to tell her, next one. This is a series for a reason. We came out with a win. Let's try to see how we can change that and make it easier on you. That's my job. I don't get MVP without Chelsea. I don't get MVP without Jackie and so long down the line. So if I can make their life easier so they can go out and be a great player, a two-way player, I'm all for it.
Next question, second row to your left.
Roz Goldenwood, ESPN. Got one for Chelsea and one for Asia. Chelsea, I'll start with you. We've been talking with various people coming through here and watching the shots you've been able to hit, a lot of them tough and captivating. What's that moment like for you, sizing up the defense? What are the advantages in those moments where the defense is still right in front of you that you can take advantage of?
I think it's like I've been in the gym practicing those types of things. So when it gets in the game, they're a little bit more of a natural feel. It's not something that that's out of the ordinary, and my teammates know that it's coming. My fadeaway, I'm able to get it off of long defenders. They have Alyssa Thomas, they have Dewana Bonner. So how can I get my shot off and be efficient with it and get to my spots and just use my legs?
Thank you. Asia, for you, as a team, we talk about you guys as high-flying offense, but Coach Kurt Miller came in and said we were able to dictate our style, held them to low scoring, and you still won. And you also held them. They had a hard time making a basket in the second half. I guess, what do we need to know about you guys as a defensive and a tough and a physical team? Something that we don't always highlight when we talk about the Aces.
Yeah, no, I mean, coming into training camp, Becky really put a lot of emphasis on defense and rebounding. She said that's going to be us. That's going to be our identity. That's who we are in protecting Vegas. So when we come out, we have to have that mindset and locked in, and I think it just starts with me. I take full accountability of being the anchor of our defense side of basketball. And, I mean, offense is going to come. We play well outside of our defense. So no matter what may be going on, no matter what the physicality of the game is, if we can get stops and play out of that, that's us. That's who we are. So, yeah, and a lot of people may not talk about how we do on the defensive end, but we've come a very, very long way, and we still have a lot of work to do, but I think we do take a lot of pride on getting it done on the defensive side because that's the most important side. Yeah, they can hold us to, I don't know, however many, but at the end of the day, we have to also hold them down as well. So if we can play on both sides of the basketball and execute on the defensive end, I got us all the way.
Guys, I see a lot of hands out there with questions. We're going to get to as many as we can. We're going to go first row right.
Asia and Chelsea, Ben Pickman, Sports Illustrated. Can you just take us through what Becky said at halftime to you guys? She said she was. She said she was more lit than usual.
We cannot. It is unedited.
I wish we can share that with
watching.
you.
But she was just on us to play our style defensively. We would let them to get offensive rebounds, easy scores, turn over the ball.
You mean to tell me you didn't hear?
That's the edited version. I can't give you everything.
Were you surprised by how animated she was, considering the first half?
Not at all.
Next question, also first row to your right.
Danny Webster, Las Vegas Sun, for all three of you. Chelsea, you kind of touched on it. The offensive rebounds. I know they were a big problem in the Seattle series. What has to change for that going forward?
It's a want. It's a want, and it's that extra effort. We're at a point of the season where we have to give it our all no matter what. Even if you think you're not there, we got to still push through that wall. We got to still dig deep and be like, I have to secure this basketball, not only for myself and my defender not getting it, but for my team. That's more possessions for them or vice versa. So I think we just got to be really, really big on, guards coming through the elbows and bigs boxing out the bigs. So I think it's a collective effort from all of us to just wanting to attack it and go get it.
All right, we're going to go Willie, Nick, Jackie, and Mike here. To your left, standing.
Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. Ladies, the edited version that Becky said that you weren't doing, it seemed like with about 4:33 left in the third, De'Erica came in and sparked this team. We could talk about your lazy stats, but that would seem to be the spark. Can you just comment on her play?
First of all, I like your suit. Real nice. Yeah, she changed the game for us. Hey, fresh, bro. She was huge for us. Like, she came in, energy plays. Like, it's not going to show in the stat sheet. I think I got so hyped. I was just like, yeah, D. She was making all the right plays, whether it was assist or rebound, getting deflections. Like, we had a 24 violation when she was out there. Like, just the little things, she sparked it for us, and that's where, like, it was a turning point, and we really took control of the game. It was all energy, hard effort, and that's hard to do. She was cold, too. Like, she didn't have a warm-up where she came into the game. She came in right away and was effective.
Next question, second row to your left.
Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. Congratulations, ladies, on the win. This question's for Asia. You talked about defense and how Becky stressed defense, but if you look at Kelsey Plum, even though the shots may not have been falling her way, she really masterminded the defensive end. Just talk a little bit about, what her impact was as well, and how she was able to influence you guys down the stretch.
It's key. It's key. When it's not going your way on the offensive end and you can still be productive for your team on the defensive end, that's the sign of just a good all-around team. And I know she's probably going to be sick tonight as well, but we got to regroup and refocus because we have a game too. But I think she's starting to prove herself that she can be out on the court and defend even when it's not going her way on the offensive end. And that's growth. That's huge growth. So I think we just have people doing the right things at the right time. People are forming into their roles, and we've come a long way, but I think we're doing it the right way, and that's what it's all about. So, I'm proud of my teammates across the board. Even though it was a close game, we still just stayed mentally locked in, and I think that's a big sign of growth for us. Jackie,
Next
you all
question.
right?
Second row.
All right.
Turnover. Next question, second row to your left.
Hi, Jackie Powell, Bleacher Report. Question for Asia and then Jackie. So, Asia, Becky came in here and she sort of talked about your leadership style. She said that you have this it factor. I'm curious as to what you think she meant by that and how you describe your own leadership style.
I have no idea what Becky meant by that, but I am who I am. I'm just going to be there for my teammates, and I feel like I've developed relationships and bonds with each one of my teammates to where I know exactly how to talk to them and get the best out of them. I'm not going to talk to Chelsea the same way I talk to Jackie to get what we need out of them. But at the end of the day, I think this was probably the first time I turned up in timeouts today. Man, she was lit. I don't know what it was, but, you just got to want it, and I never understood how important my role honestly was on this team until this year. I started just to form into the leadership role, and I can't do that without my teammates. They trust me. They believe in me to have that say. So I think my leadership style is I'm a vocal leader, but also a very emotional leader, but I'm also going to just go out there and hold it down for my team. So if that's a leader, that's a leader.
Thank you. And Jackie, for you, I'm curious what the Aces style is defensively, if you could describe that, and what allowed you all to create the amount of shot clock violations that you got this afternoon.
Yeah, I think we just have to be locked in defensively, executing our defensive schemes. We know we're a little bit smaller, and so I think it's important for the guards to get rebounds. But the biggest thing is just trying to be physical, making it hard for their guards to get it, their posts to get it, and then just executing the defensive scheme whenever they do get it.
Sorry, next question, center, third row.
Yeah, Asia and Jackie, if you guys could answer this. I know 2020 is a long time ago. It was in the bubble. But were there things maybe that you both learned from your experience in the finals before that helped coming out today in terms of, is there that little extra level you have to be at for a finals matchup?
You go first.
Yes, Jackie, we're going to make you go first.
All right. I mean, I think just taking it one game at a time, you know, this is what we worked for all season, and I think it was important for us to get this first win at home. The away team always tries to steal that first one, so I think just being locked in from the start was the biggest thing, and, you know, just going back and looking at things from game one and trying to be better at it in game two, and so really just taking it one game at a time.
Yeah, I mean, and I think also what I've said this plenty of times, I think in the bubble, we were just happy to be there and also happy to leave. And I think now in the moment, it's like, okay, well, you know that feeling. It sucks getting swept. It's the worst thing ever. But that's the chip on your shoulder. That's the fire. That's the grind that you want to say, I don't want to get swept anymore. I don't even want to have a gentleman's sweep. Like, you want to go out there and play for your teammates because you felt the way that you felt in 2020 and you hate it. I still hate that, but at the end of the day, I'm walking into this series like we've earned to be here. Both teams, they deserve to be here. We've earned our way here. It wasn't an easy route at all, but we're here. So it's like, now what? It's not like oh, yes, we're here. Like, oh, my God, yes, the finals. We got a sticker on our uniform. No, like, it's time to play. It's time to go out there and work because we deserved and we earned our way here.
We have time for just a couple more questions. Next, fourth row to your left.
Chelsea, what did you guys see back here to your left? What did you see, out of your defense in the second half there, just in terms of, your zone and how it was able to frustrate them?
I think we were working our way from the paint and out. A lot of times they were getting the ball in the paint. They were getting second chance points. Jackie mentioned it, like the guards got to come in and get some rebounds. There were a couple key rebounds where Kelsey came up and got some rebounds. Jackie followed it by the elbow, got some long rebounds that they were getting in the first half. And so we were able to get stops and rebounds, and that's always key. They feed off of that. That's their energy booster when we're turning over the ball and when they're offensive rebounding. So we clamp down there and make them take outside shots and not get too much into a flow.
Next question, third row to your right.
Chris Rim, the New York Times. On that final defensive possession, what was like the conversation and the focus for you all in terms of like, was there one person you were locking in on, or like what was the focus on that possession?
What was the final defensive possession?
When we were Lord, see what I go through in huddles. It was basically, no, it wasn't just one person. Obviously, they have Bonner, they have JJ. Like, everybody's pretty much capable. Capable of making a three. So we just wanted to lock in no threes and no and ones. A two doesn't hurt us. And that's always our mindset, just have high hands, because we don't want to leave it in the ref's hands. We want to be able to get a stop. So it was key Bonner shot a shot with contested. If that ball goes in, we would be happy with our defense. But we got the stop and we got a rebound.
Next question, third row to your right.
Oh, here we go. The guys Duncan Basketball News. I have one for Chelsea and one for Asia. Chelsea, the Aces with a season low 8 assists today. How much of that was the half court process, and how much of that's just shots not falling?
I mean, they want to muck it up. Like, that's their defensive scheme. We did miss some outside shots, and we're going to take the same ones. Like, we've been working, and it's natural in our offense. Those shots that we got, we're going to knock them down the next game. Second of all, I just got to do a better job of not turning the basketball over. And when we're able to play out of our defense, that's when we're flowing and kicking, penetrate, kick, hitting shooters. And that's the style of play that we want to do. But we just got to do a better job of taking care of it. I mean, 10 turnovers isn't bad, but I had freaking 6 of them. So just being locked in offensively a little bit more. But it won't be the same next game.
All right, our last two questions will come from Zoom. We're going to go to Chantel and then Stephen. Chantel, then Stephen. Chantel, go ahead.
Hey, Chantel Jennings with The Athletic. Question for Chelsea. You mentioned Asia kind of turning up in that fourth quarter timeout. That's not something we see super often. Sounds like it's not something you guys see super often. I'm just curious, when she does bring that sort of energy and leadership style, what does it do for the team?
it's like it's you know, you're waiting in the huddle and you're just like, what do we say? And she says the right thing in the right moment, and it like gets us going. It's an energy boost. With that, it was some choice words, so I can't say everything that was said. But it's like we need to lock in. It's another level that we can go to. And so when you have your leader out there, like just explaining, like we can't just give it to them. We have to lock in ourselves. And that's what she was saying in the huddle. It gave us another energy boost to go get a stop, go get a rebound, do it for the next person. And so that got us going.
Our last question will come from Stephen.
Hey, ladies, congratulations on the win. Stephen Gunner from Nuts and Bull Sports. My question is Chelsea. So I think a lot of this series comes down to your production in terms of playing the pick and roll, because the Sun are good at playing chess at the level of the screen. So can you talk to that balance that you find in terms of when you're coming off screens, making your reads to make passes and keep flowing the offense versus going to get your own bucket?
It's all a balance game, not just in the pick and roll. The ball's in my hands a lot, so if I'm in a pick and roll, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's for me. It's not for the popper. It's not for the roller all the time. It's just we gotta see how they're guarding it. In a couple of those moments, I gotta be able to take care of it and execute out of the pick and roll. I know they were putting 2 on the ball. So it's really a feel thing, and depending on where everybody is on the floor, sometimes it's different when Asia comes into a pick versus when Kia comes into it. So just playing off of that and just making the right read.